What's going on, everybody? It's Mike here from AX Garage. Welcome back to the channel. Today we got something a little different on our channel. Check out this 2022 Acura RDX A-Spec in advanced package. That's right, guys, 2022 Acura RDX A-Spec in advanced package. Now, under the hood, it's the same 2-liter turbo that you see on the 10th gen Honda Accord and also 2nd gen TLX. Now, inside the cabin is this beautiful orchid interior. Now, Acura been using this orchid interior for some of the higher trim models, and it's no different on this top-of-the-line A-Spec model. Pan roof, everything is standard on this vehicle. Now, before we waste any time talking more about this car, because obviously you guys have seen this car quite a bit on the road and also on YouTube. Now, PRL sent us a bunch of goodies over here. We have an intercooler kit and also a stage 1 intake. Before we open the box and before we get this part installed and find out what this car does in a quarter mount in stock form, and also after all the performance upgrade and also with a K-tuner flash, and see what it does, let's take a look. And with the drag, you were able to do 3 runs, 15.4, 15.3, and 15.2 at 91 miles per hour. Next up, let's go and open those PRL boxes and take a look and see what those parts look like. And here we have our all-new intercooler kit for the 2nd generation RDX. It is an all-new kit designed specifically for the 2nd generation RDX. A lot of folks were using the 10th gen Honda Accord 2-liter turbo intercooler, but they have to trim the bumper to make sure they have proper clearance. Now with this kit, it is the plug and play, no trimming necessary, and it's so much larger than the FKA Accord and also the TLX intercooler. Now over here we have the stage 1 intake system, silicone hose, and also a high flow engine air filter along with the fittings, and also the hardware all come together in a kit. Back to the intercooler, they have two different finishes. This is a raw aluminum, and they also have an all black finish. I personally like the aluminum finish better. Some people like the black finish. Comment below and let us know what you think. Next up, let's go ahead and get the car up in the air and start removing the front bumper. Well guys, there you have it. We have the stock intercooler and also the PRL unit. John, how much larger that is?
Well, I mean, so we were talking about this before. This one is the tallest core that we've seen so far with the PRL products that we've used as far as intercoolers go. But what I'll say is it's almost the same thickness as the core. Normally our other ones are a lot thicker. So I think for clearance issues in the bumper and behind the bumper support, they went up instead of wide, and this is going to give us a lot more efficiency through the whole thing. And from what we're told, it should fit right in there perfectly. You can see there's a lot of space in the RDX front end. So I mean, this one is a plug-in play. It bolts right where the stock one went. You can see the fittings here. There's no special brackets that are needed. All we have to do is put our O-ring in here, which is usually supplied to us right in here. And then we just bolt it right up using the factory insulator. So let's go ahead and fit it and make sure everything works perfectly.
Okay, so with the intercooler out of the way, before we put the bumper back together, we're gonna go ahead and work on the intake system. Now, John got the stage 1 intake on his hand.
So this is pretty basic setup. It eliminates from here to here and gives us this pipe. And then it uses their reusable, it's like a K&N filter. It's 100% reusable, but it's made in-house by PRL, and this is meant to fit in there. This will give you lots of little turbo sounds, like that, you know, very nice. Everyone with a turbo car wants to hear that, at least I do. So it's gonna be pretty simple. We replace this piece with the supplied one that they have here. And I don't know this little topsy-turvy thing. I'm not totally sure what this does yet.
Almost like a distributor rotor.
Yeah, it's something. I'm not quite sure what that is, but we're gonna go ahead and figure it out. This might be a resonator delete. I'm not totally sure. We'll have to take a look at it a little bit closer.
And guys, just like that, we got a PRL intake on the car. And over here, I want to show you guys this elbow that sit on top of the factory air box. Now, the factory unit come with this little flimsy plastic tube here. Now, PRL unit actually come with this nice stand, making sure this opening is wide open. And we are all done with the PRL Stage 1 intake on our RDX. Before we can put back the front bumper, we are currently waiting for this hose right over here from PRL. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and move on to the next item. And guys, here we have a set of Eibach Pro Kit lowering spring for our 2022 RDX A-Spec. Drop in the front, 1.5, negative 1.2 in the back. We have done one of these videos on a previous RDX we've done with turbo wax. Just in case you got interested, we go ahead and put a link up here and also down the description. So the installation is pretty straightforward. We'll go ahead and work in the back and work our way in the front. So in the meantime, let's go ahead and get the car up in the air and get the wheels off. And the rear suspension is all done. Next up, let's go ahead and move on to the front. And up in the front suspension is pretty straightforward. Obviously, we're gonna have to take the struts and the spring assembly out of the knuckle right over here. Now, aside from that, you want to take a look at the factory struts. This car does equip with adaptive suspension, or ADS. Now, with the lone spring, it will be a perfect combination because you are not affecting the factory system. So next up, let's go ahead and pull the suspension off. Okay, so stock spring and struts assembly along with the Eibach spring. All we need to do is use that tool to compress the factory stock spring out of the strut, then go ahead and install the Eibach springs. The Eibach Lone Spring really gave this car a nice OEM plus look. What do you say, John?
Yeah, it definitely lowered the car nice. I believe it's a 1.5 in the front and a 1 in the rear. And this way you could still load up some equipment in the back or groceries or whatever you're gonna put in your RDX without it causing any suspension issues. But me and Mike were talking about it. I think these factory 20s fill it in pretty nice, but maybe a 21, 22 may be a little bit too big for the chassis, but just a little bit more, maybe a little bit more offset would definitely fill this in nice. But overall, the drop is nice, and it definitely, there are no compromises in it. Everything should work perfectly.
I think for a daily, this is a great drop. You're not gonna worry about, bumping on, rubbing the fenders or, scrubbing up the front bumper or anything like that.
And it's an SUV. It doesn't need to be that low. Just a little bit less wheel gap makes a big difference. I bet you it handles nice too.
Next up, I think we got figured out the intercooler situation, huh?
Yeah, we have we're helping with PRL to figure out the proper hose that has to go here. While they're manufacturing that, we're gonna try and get something to work in the meantime. But other than that, she's almost ready for a tune and alignment and to go back out on the road.
It took some serious engineering to be able to fabricate a temporary piece of tubing for intercoolers. Next up, let's go and put back the front bumper. And just like that, we got a front bumper back on the vehicle. Now TJ is working on uploading a new tune from K-Tuner. What do you say, TJ?
Yeah, right now it's uploading the factory map, so that way when we go to return back to stock, then we'll be able to return it right back to stock.
So after this step, what else are we doing?
After this, we'll be able to upload whatever map we want, and then we can go test drive it and see how it does.
So typically it has what, like 1 or 2 different tune that the preset tune that you can select?
They have a few preset settings, I guess, different boost levels, different add-ons and stuff like that. So we'll just pick one from there and upload it and run it.
You think I'm gonna gain like 50 horsepower?
Maybe 100.
So now the tune is uploaded. Now you have two selections, stage 1 and stage 2. But you know what I'm looking for, TJ?
Max boost.
I want the stage 3.
Well, I don't think we got that, but we'll work on it.
So let's go ahead and I guess we're gonna go with stage 2, correct?
Yeah, let's do stage 2. So we'll hit stage 2. We'll hit next. And then that'll pull it up. Then we go hit the upload right this one. Flash now, direct with the ECU. Bada bing, bada boom. Now in about 30 to 45 minutes, it'll be uploaded.
And the upload for the tune just about to be finished. Before we hit the road, let's go ahead and get a 4-wheel alignment done, checking, make sure everything is okay. Then we can see what kind of improvement this RDX will do. Okay, so we're pretty much all done with the alignment, with the exception of the driver's side casters, just slightly off of factory spec. Everything else within spec: front camber, rear camber, along with the front and rear toes. And next up, let's go and grab the draggy and see what this car does in a quarter mile. Well guys, there you have it with a simple flash from K-Tuner, a Stage 1 intake system from PRL, and also their intercooler system. We're able to get this result for quarter miles. 14.76 at 94 miles an hour, 14.56 at 95 miles an hour, and 14.78 at 94 miles per hour, comparing the best time when the car was stock versus now 15.29 at 91 miles an hour versus 14.56 at 95 miles an hour. That's almost 0.7 seconds faster over stock, and that's pretty impressive. And don't forget the Eibach lone spring definitely enhanced the look, and also the handling on our 2022 Acura RDX A-Spec. And this wrap up for this video. You guys like what you see and want to see more of this content, make sure you guys are subscribed to our channel and also turn the notification. And don't forget, follow us on our social media pages, both Facebook and Instagram at Acura Honda Classic. My name is Mike, on behalf of AX Garage. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you guys next week.